1930, Nunavut, Canada. Winter had settled hard over the remote north, locking the land in a deep freeze and laying a blanket of snow across the tundra. Near the icy expanse of Lake Anjikuni sat a small Inuit village, a place so isolated that only the occasional fur trapper or prospector found their way to its clustered igloos. It was here, in November of that year, that Joe LaBelle, a seasoned trapper who knew the community well, made his way toward the settlement, expecting warmth, laughter, and the smell of seal meat roasting over open fires. What greeted him instead was a silence so complete it made the hair rise on the back of his neck. There were no children playing on the snow-packed paths, no men mending nets, no women tending cooking fires. He called out, his voice carrying over the icy stillness, but the only reply was the wind. As he moved deeper into the village, the unease grew. Every igloo was intact, their entrances unblocked. Inside, belongings were left exactly where they should have been. Fur-lined clothing hung neatly, rifles rested in their racks, and pots of food sat cold and frozen as if dinner had been abandoned mid-preparation. It was as though life had simply stopped. There were no signs of struggle. The snow bore no fresh footprints except his own. Even the sled dogs, always tied outside the homes, were gone. LaBelle searched desperately for any clue, finally spotting something unusual at the edge of the village. A single line of tracks leading away toward the horizon. They were evenly spaced, all in the same direction, as if the entire population had left together, walking in perfect unison. At the communal food storage, he found another strange detail. The cache stood open, its stockpile of dried fish and seal meat untouched. In the harsh Arctic, abandoning food was unthinkable. It was survival itself. Whatever had drawn the villagers away, it had been sudden, urgent, and powerful enough to make them leave everything behind. Alarmed, LaBelle made the long journey to the nearest telegraph station and sent an urgent message to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. When the Mounties arrived, they confirmed the absence of every man, woman, and child. As they combed through the village, they uncovered something far more disturbing. Several graves in the small burial ground had been opened. The bodies were missing. The permafrost was hard, yet the graves had been dug with precision, leaving no sign of who or what had done it. As word spread, other trappers and hunters came forward with eerie accounts. One man claimed he had seen a strange, pulsating light hovering over Lake Anjikuni on the night the villagers vanished. It stayed in place for several minutes before shooting into the sky at a speed beyond anything he had ever witnessed. Another spoke of hearing a low, resonant humming echoing across the ice in the days before the disappearance, a sound that seemed to vibrate through his bones. The Mounties launched a search that stretched across the surrounding wilderness, but no bodies, sleds, or signs of the missing were ever found. Days turned into weeks, and the trail went cold. Officially, the incident faded into the fog of half-remembered history. Skeptics later argued that Joe LaBelle had exaggerated or fabricated the story, noting the absence of formal RCMP records in the public archives. Others believed the truth had been deliberately buried, the files locked away because the facts were too disturbing. Still, the people of Nunavut never forgot. Elders spoke in hushed tones of the torn Geit, spirits that could lure entire groups into the wilderness, never to return. Some believed the villagers had been called by something not of this world, taken to a place from which no one comes back. The most chilling part of the legend is what continues to this day. Hunters who pass near Lake Anjikuni during the deep winter sometimes report a pale, unnatural light glowing just above the frozen surface. It does not flicker like firelight, nor move like the aurora. It hovers, pulsating faintly, before vanishing without a trace. And on the coldest, stillest nights, they say, you can hear it. A faint chorus of voices singing in an unfamiliar tongue, carrying across the ice. Those who have heard it say the sound is hauntingly beautiful, but filled with sorrow, as if the singers are trapped between worlds. It grows louder if you walk toward it, but if you follow it too far, the voices stop, and you find yourself standing alone on the lake, the vast emptiness pressing in from all sides. To this day, no explanation, natural or otherwise, has ever accounted for the disappearance of the Lake Anjikuni villagers. Whether it was a mass migration, an act of violence erased by time, or something far stranger, the fact remains. An entire community vanished without a trace, leaving behind only their homes, their belongings, and a silence so deep it still echoes across the tundra. And perhaps, if you stand on the ice long enough, you might hear that chorus in the distance, singing, waiting, calling,